Ladies and gentlemen, I'm joined by Mike Grundy. Sir, last time we spoke, it was going to be pancreas. Injury kind of stopped, well, the medical review stopped that from their side. Now you're fighting Narimani, UFC London. How
Yeah.
mental's that?
Yeah, I can't wait. Well, some things just happen for a reason, I suppose, and I got my UFC call up finally, and I'm ready to go.
So, the call up, how did it come about then? Was it just something that they just said, look, we want you in, we want you in the UFC brand, or were they just doing like a call for you because they want you in now? What happened?
Well, it's been a long time coming, really, the UFC,
Mm,
obviously, and, we tried for London last year, and then we obviously wanted Liverpool, where Darren was
yeah.
main event. It was first time in Liverpool. We really wanted that one. It didn't come off, so we kind of thought, you know what, we're going to have to get a fight in, so we went for Pancreas. Pancreas offered me a contract. Went for Pancreas, but, unfortunately, I got injured before that fight, so I couldn't go to that. And then, you know what, it was just not long after that, they kind of just offered me to fight in the UFC. They didn't give me a fight date or anything. They just, they took me on the contract. And then, months later, they said, we want you on London.
Oh, just sitting there waiting with your name on the list. Oh,
Must have been there, which is the best way, really. I mean,
yeah.
obviously, I know these days a lot of people get late pullouts and stuff,
Yes.
if somebody gets injured and stuff. I never really wanted that anyway. I know I
Mm.
campaigned for stuff like that in the past, but I never really wanted that. I wanted to be recognised and get in the UFC.
Yeah, absolutely. No, getting on your own merit. Have you had any
Yeah,
six a.m. calls from your USADA?
yeah, not 6 a.m. But I was when I went to training the other day. They was there, so. But I'm used to all that. I've done it all with the wrestling stuff and being on the Olympic team and that. So we always had to have our whereabouts and get tested on a regular basis.
Yeah, I was going to say that's something not new to you, see, yeah. So that would have been like kind of like, hi guys, yeah, I've been here, done this, yeah. I'll just give me the jar and I'll fill it up.
Yeah, it's part and parcel of the sport, innit? You've got to keep it clean, ain't you? It's a
Yeah.
dangerous sport, and if somebody's taking some performance-enhancing drugs, it's going to make it even worse. So I agree with it all.
The brotherhood that you and Darren have, he must have been elated that you're in there now when you obviously got told. How was the moment when you two shared it with each other? Obviously, when you told him.
It was nice, I mean, Colin told me in front
Oh,
of the class, and it was a busy
oh,
class. He told me in front of the class. It's actually going to come out. There's a guy who's done a short documentary on me, and he's got that footage. So he's gonna come out in the next couple of days, probably Sunday night. So it'll be on YouTube, and I'll share it and stuff. But when they tell me, that's on that part of the documentary. So it's good. You'll see my reaction, my real reaction.
oh. Well, I will make sure I do. I will post it out as well, mate. I will share it as well because I'll be watching that and looking forward to seeing your face on that one. I'll be a
Yeah,
belter.
check that. Yeah, it'll be good. It's good.
Oh, mate. And so Nad Narimani, he is, quintessentially a grappler. As you will know yourself, he likes his grappling bouts. So when I saw the matchup, I went, "Oh gosh, now we're going to really see his grappling credentials because we've got a man himself in you who's not too bad. He done all right for yourself.
I do all right. Yeah.
Yeah, he did all right. He got a semi good takedown, from what I can
Yeah.
remember. What was there about Nad though that you've watched that you kind of appreciate about him as a fighter? Because obviously he's from the Cage Warriors days. He's been around a bit in the UK scene.
Yeah, I mean, I was happy to get somebody who was British to fight. Obviously, I've had to go overseas a lot and fight in Japan and Brazil and places like that. So I've always had to be going out my comfort zone to fight. So to fight in my own country against another British guy is good and it's nice. And what I've seen of Nad, I've seen bits of him. I've watched him fighting Cage Warriors and stuff. I've always had my eye on him because he's been a prospect for a while in the featherweight division. So you've obviously got to keep an eye on your own division. And yeah, he can grapple, and his strengths are also my strengths, but I feel my strengths are much stronger.
And I've seen obviously social media. You're doing a lot of obviously training, getting prepped for this with your kickboxing is something you're kind of working on your striking game to hopefully bring it up to a level where you're far more confident and use it more often. Is this something that you kind of focus on a bit more in this camp just to bring up that skill set? Because we know that your grappling's ridiculously hard. You've got good submissions as well because we've seen your wins in MMA. Is that something you've focused a bit on?
I'm always focusing on everywhere really, but yeah, I've always focused on my striking as well. You just not had a chance to see too much of it because I've never really had to. because I've never really even gone into second gear with my wrestling yet. It's always been a straight takedown. No one's really shown any defence properly, so you've not seen much of that yet. But you know, I'm always looking at my striking, and like I say, you've not seen much, but I'm sure you will when somebody starts defending my takedown.
Well, I was going to say, people haven't seen your chain wrestling.
They've not known. That's something I've talked about. You know, like you said, they've never really had to yet.
No, you've literally
just
just got straight down.
And it's been done, you know. And when I'm sure, you know, some of these Americans in the UFC will give me some trouble, and I'll have to chain wrestle a little bit more. But you'll see it, I'm sure.
And that'll be good to see, though, because that'll be another great thing. That's a skill set that you've not had to use. Obviously, you use it in the gym. You know, it's something that you train and it's something you've practiced for a long time. But what I like about your skill set is you've got a good transition from the strike into the takedown. That's a weapon in itself, because you've seen it yourself, where guys, they can't get the two blending together. They can't get it seamless. They kind of strike, then take down. You can see the difference, the gap. That's something that you've kind of got as an advantage already over a lot of guys.
Yeah, it helps a lot. I mean, you've seen Usman and Woodley at the weekend, last weekend, and Woodley credentially is better than Usman at wrestling. In their country, Woodley has the better credentials. You know, I think he's been like a Big 12. He's an All-American and stuff like that. So, and then obviously in the cage, it's different, where Usman's setting up his strikes with his takedowns much better, and you know, finishing takedowns and grinding out Woodley. So there is a difference to MMA wrestling.
And now that you're in the UFC, you're in the division. Is there any names on there that you've looked at and went, that would be a stonkingly good matchup being in?
Yeah, there's a lot. I mean, the featherweight division's stacked with good wrestlers.
Yeah.
You know, people like Frankie Edgar. There's a few, Mendes. You know, there's a few knocking about there that's got good wrestling. So, you know, I want to get up against them guys and ensure that we have got a wrestler in this country that can wrestle and compete with the Americans.
I was going to say, glad you didn't say Max Holloway, because that's cheating going straight to the champ. That is cheating. All right.
It is a bit, yeah. I'm talking about the wrestlers there, yeah.
And so, how has, you know, your, not just the gym, but how has your family, how has everyone around you reacted to, obviously, when the news was announced, and how's everything been going? Because obviously I imagine there's been a bit more of a spotlight on you, let's say.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the Wigan people, you know, people from Wigan have been very supportive. I've had a lot of messages and a lot of support. My family and friends have obviously been overwhelmed with it all. My dad, you know, he's been emotional a couple of times. He's been there for me. You know, he knows how hard it's been for me and my family, my missus and my kids. It's been tough time getting to this stage, and it's an opportunity I'm going to grab with both hands. But family and friends, you know, I can't ask for any better, really. You know, they've been very supportive.
And what I was going to say was about Wigan. You obviously don't just compete, and it's not just training. You are a coach. You help as well. You've got the Wigan kind of wrestling team that have got their season coming up. Is that something that you feel that you're kind of bound to and connected to, that you'll keep doing all the time, even though you've got this kind of responsibility now of the UFC?
I've always coached kids from 16-year-old myself. For this fight, I have coached them, but not as much as I usually coach them. I've took a bit of a backward step as far as coaching the kids. I've not coached them for the last probably 10 weeks now, but I have missed them. I have missed coaching them because, you know, they've been a big part of my life. I've coached some of them kids from 4-year-old up until 15-year-old. You know, I've known them a long time. But, you know, they know what's going on, and they're very supportive. They understand my goals and my dreams, but it also inspires them, having their coach being in the UFC and competing in the UFC, so they can look up to somebody and they can understand that wrestling and what I coach them, they have somewhere to go after wrestling and make their own dreams. And
you're a great example for not just those kids, your family as well, because your little ones are doing all right themselves, aren't they? It seems in the martial arts kind of criteria that it's rubbing off. Daddy's genes is passed on, but I bet they're almost as tall. They're almost as tall, mate. They're going to get past you soon.
Jack, my lad, yeah, he's fighting. He's had a few fights. He's like 5 times British champion in freestyle wrestling. He's a couple of times European champion in jiu-jitsu. He's had a few Thai boxing fights, and he's I think he's done three MMA now. Only body shots, but he's doing well. He's winning. He's mixing up well. He's definitely going to do well in the future, and it's what he wants to do. And I won't stop him. I won't say, you've got to do this or that. He's got to, if he wants to concentrate on this, making this his dream, then it starts now, really.
Yeah, it does, and he's not got a bad teacher, has he? Let's be honest. It's not bad having you around, mate.
No, not at all.
But you still obviously can have the final say. Look, I've teach you some stuff, but I don't teach you everything, just so I make sure I get the takedowns. Is that what it is?
No, well, I've got to keep some things secret because we've got to. When he turns 18, he's 14 now. When he turns 18, we've got a wrestling match. We've got to wrestle off. When he turns 18, I don't know. I think I'll be like 35, 36 then, but he'll be 18, probably bigger than me as well. But we've got to wrestle there.
Low single, just go low. You've seen how be taller. Take advantage of that.
Yeah, I think he's going to be bigger than me. He's already like 60 kilograms now. So.
Oh, jeez.
14, yeah.
Oh, just don't feed him. Don't feed him for 4 years. It'll be fine.
Yeah, I just have to keep some secrets. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. So obviously your partner in crime, your missus. I see the bond that you two have on social. You put her. She is on a ridiculously high pedestal. What is it? How much of a rock is she for you, mate?
Yeah, it's important, isn't it? As an athlete, you've got to have a good woman behind you, to support you. As I said, she's put her dreams aside to support mine, and I'm grateful for what she's done for me because she's always looked after the kids and made sure they're all right. I'm training 2-3 times a day, and I've always done that anyway. Even when I first met her, I was travelling to Russia and all over the world to wrestle. So she's kind of always supported that. So she's always understood. I'm grateful for that.
And the mental side of things, obviously people talk about octagon jitters, getting big bright lights at the UFC. You've had big bright lights for a while. It's put it that way, not just in MMA but the wrestling. I imagine then Colin and Darren and even the other boys at the team talk to you about controlling the emotions, mental state, and stuff like that. Is that something that maybe you guys spoke about just to make sure everything's smooth and precise on the night?
It's not something we specifically talk about. How it is at Team Carbon. It's hardcore, and it's tough training. We know we're ready when we go in that octagon. We ain't gonna let any octagon jitters get in our way. We're fit enough, we're strong enough, we're mentally strong enough. We've got to be. We're just getting through our training camp. Mentally, we're going to be strong enough. The stuff that Colin puts us through is tough, and like you say, I've been under the big lights before. And I've also been under the big lights, with Darren and with other fighters like Paul Sass and Terry Etten. So I've always walked out with them, and I've always envisioned how I would feel when I walk out. So I've got that kind of experience, and that's definitely helped me towards this fight coming up. But to me right now, it's just another fight. I know it's in the UFC, obviously, where I've always wanted to be, but I ain't going to let that get to me. I ain't going to put any extra pressure on myself.
No, absolutely not. Just go in, do what you do. There's no point in trying to change anything that hasn't been working beforehand. If it's working, keep doing it.
That's it.
Yeah,
but I'm mentally, I'm 100% strong enough, and I'm ready. I'm ready to get the win on that night. I will have my hand raised.
And I am absolutely elated that you're in the UFC. It's about darn time is the best way to put it. So honestly, mate, it's going to be fantastic in London. The atmosphere, getting your debut, getting your name in there and say, look, this is what you're going to get in front of you guys. Watch out, I'm coming for you. It's going to be fantastic to see. And I know you've got Wigan. Just go. Obviously, there's going to be a lot of people going down there to watch, but I'm sure there's going to be like kind of pubs and clubs that they'll be showing the events and just supporting you as well.
Yeah, there is. There's a few pubs that's putting them on now. I've just seen them on social media that they're saying, let's get behind our own Mike Grundy and stuff. So there's a lot of pubs in Wigan putting it on. And there's a lot of people coming down, and I think I'll have a lot of support on the night because obviously Darren's main event and there's a lot of people from Liverpool going. So I'm sure they'll be supporting me as well as Darren on the night. I think I'll be on early doors, but like I say, as long as my friends and family's there, I'm happy.
Yeah, you're an adopted Scouser.
Yeah. Part Scouts, man.
Part Scouts, yeah. Mate, let's wrap this up then. Give us your social media so people can jump on and give you a follow. And obviously, look out for that YouTube little short film. I saw you tweet about it and Instagram about it, but where do people jump on your social media, bud?
Yeah, so we've got Twitter, which is @MG Wrestling. And then we've got my Instagram, which is Mike_Grundy. And then obviously Facebook, I'm on Facebook as well. And yeah, the short documentary will be out Sunday night. Only on YouTube, but I'll put it on social media. It's a good little watch. It's only like 7-8 minutes long.
Perfect little segment, especially get everyone warmed up and ready for UFC London. What about your sponsors, mate? Who's been helping out at the fight camp?
I've got a couple of sponsors. Yeah, I've got the main one, which is Qualitech, and that's Danny Casey. He's been a massive help throughout my career, from my wrestling days right up to now. You know, there's a lot of stuff that I've done that wouldn't have been able to happen without him. And then got Vincent Cameron Drilling. They've done a bit for me. Sinners Club, which is a big burger company in Wigan. So I'll be going there straight after the fight. They've got some massive burgers on there. So and then Summit Physio, they've done a lot of help with me. Obviously, my recovery is important, and I've been going there once a week to make sure I get a massage. And I've got my nutritionist Sam, and my strength and conditioner Bob Bessick, and obviously my team Carbon and Colin Aaron and all the lads down there. They're working with me day in day out, and I appreciate the help.
The work ethic and the teaching there, coaching there is ridiculous, people. I would suggest if you do live in Liverpool, jump on and go to that gym, train there. They've got classes on all the time. Just go on social media, you'll find the days and times that are on. So I implore you, even if it's just a bit of fitness, get down there and learn some martial arts. Mike, thanks very much for your time, mate. Pleasure as always,
problem,
but can't wait till UFC London. Enjoy yourself and just have a great time, you and Darren.
That's it. I'm just going to soak it all up. I'm going to enjoy it. The fight week and the media obligations and the fans being around. Like I say, I can't wait. I'm excited. I'm excited to get out there now and put on a performance.